Good afternoon and welcome to this edition of DMS 3000 News Live. It's episode 85 on this Tuesday afternoon, December 12th, 2023. And I'm your host, Jason DeCanio, for another great show. We're ready to go, and I hope you are too as well. So we're getting close to it. 13 days left to Christmas Day, and have you got your shopping done? Well, all next week and the week, of course, of Christmas will be in our Christmas mode. We're in our Advent season, but you're seeing Christmas commercials all over the place right now as we're getting even closer. So next week, I'm going to be donning Santa hats and a whole lot of other great stuff as well as we, of course, celebrate the most fantastic time of the year when we're with our families and our friends. And Hanukkah's going on right now for all of our Jewish friends out there. I hope they are having a peaceful and safe Hanukkah and celebrating with their friends and family these, of course, next 8 days as Hanukkah wraps up, I think, this week on the 15th. Yes, it's been going on for 8 days. It started on the 7th and will go to the 15th. So in this case, I wish all of my Jewish friends another great Hanukkah tonight after sundown. Okay, we have some fantastic articles to look at, including one of the biggest articles we're going to be looking at today, because this would have been Bob Barker's 100th birthday if he would have made it. Had he not passed back in August at the age of 99, and if he would have made it to today, he would have been celebrating his 100th birthday. So we're going to tribute Bob Barker today on the program for a little while. You all know his story, but we're going to go ahead and tribute it and celebrate 100 great years of his life. And then your spam blocker won't protect you from this new email scam. So here's what to know. There's a new email scam coming out. So we're going to give you all the information that you need to keep informed so that way you don't fall victim to it. And what is monotasking and why is it better for you than multitasking? We'll give you the differences and tell you which one is better, of course. Maybe you just decide for yourself which one is which, okay? Plus, we got the headline, sports, and other important information. In fact, we have those football scores for you. And I didn't mention about the basketball scores yesterday because they played last night they played tonight. There was a whole bunch of games on Monday night, so we're going to give you those games and the scores. All of that, plus what day is today, the motivation of the day, and, of course, if you want to talk football, check out new episodes on Wednesday nights at 7:30 with me and David St. Dennis and Victor and Chester. We'll all be there ready to go for Let's Talk Football. And then, of course, my show with the guys, the Tier Masters, Wipe Those Tears, Wednesdays at 9 o'clock with Brandon Bogard, Mark Leota, and Gianni Pizzi, and myself. We're still in NES games, but the week of next week and the 25th, or the week of the 25th, that would be 18, 19, 20th, and the 20th and the 27th, we're going to be doing different stuff for Christmas. So those will be our two special Christmas shows. And we're not taking the 2 weeks off, but we are going to be there for the pre-Christmas show and the show during Christmas week. Okay. I know those guys, unless for some odd reason you hear something differently and these guys decide they don't want to take home. I'm going to ask them on the show tomorrow if they want to do the week of Christmas. We'll see. It's all up to them. The votes outweigh everything else pretty much. So if you seem to think that we're going to have a show on the week of Christmas, maybe think again. Because I know I'm taking 2 weeks off for recording for the game shows and resuming everything back on January 8th because we have Christmas and New Year's. But we will be here on Christmas Day show on the 25th and the New Year's Day show as well, plus throughout the whole week. We go all the time. Okay? So that is what I have ready to go for the lineup. And yes, happy birthday. Happy 100th birthday. Thank you, Chuck Jose. Appreciate the comment. And like I said, we're going to be celebrating a fantastic birthday celebration for Bob Barker later on here. So let's go ahead, get our, whoops. Okay, we got that up there. I'm just playing with buttons today. But we've got headlines, sports, and other important information. So let's go ahead and get with it because we've got a whole bunch of stuff to tribute today. Okay, so of course, today the headlines from the NPR. This is for December 12th, 2023. CPR can be life saving for some, futile for others. And here's what makes the difference. If someone young and healthy collapses, the treatment is a no brainer. As we age or suffer serious health problems, there may come a point where it would do more harm than good. Yes, so you got to make sure you really choose wisely whether or not to use CPR. Zara pulls ad campaign that critics said resembled Gaza destruction. The multinational fashion retailer Zara said it regrets a misunderstanding about its latest ad campaign after public outcry over images that some said evoked the war in Gaza. Alabama's upcoming gas execution could harm witnesses and violates religious liberty. Alabama plans to execute a prisoner using nitrogen gas. NPR obtained a Department of Corrections document showing the method may pose risks to others in the room and impede religious liberties. Arctic Report Card points to rapid and dramatic impacts of climate change. This past summer in the Arctic was the warmest since 1900, leading to early snowmelt and diminished sea ice. Advice from a critic: read Erasure before seeing American Fiction. With the first Percival Everett inspired screen adaptation, American Fiction, coming to theaters starting on December 15th, we're taking a moment to revisit his provocative and affecting satirical novel. At one Gaza hospital, doctors are fleeing, supplies are low, and there's not enough beds. In the Palestinian territory's second largest city, Khan Yunis, thousands have taken shelter on the grounds of Nasser Medical Complex, where staff describe an increasingly desperate situation. Inflation continues to moderate thanks to a big drop in gas prices. Consumer prices rose 3.1% in November from a year ago, marking a more moderate pace of inflation thanks in large part to falling gasoline prices. Harvard affirms President Claudine Gay will not step down over anti-Semitism testimony. Gay faced growing criticism from lawmakers, alumni, and donors for not denouncing violence and hateful rhetoric against Jewish students more clearly or forcefully enough during congressional testimony. The border guard looked forbidding, then surprised them with his empathy. A husband and wife were returning from Mexico with chemotherapy medication when a guard asked to see the bottles of white powder. His kindness in that moment left an impression. How should the media cover Trump and Biden in 2024? Well, one man has the answer. What have journalists learned from covering the 2016 and 2020 elections? And how can we do better? We asked the man who led the Washington Post through the Trump presidency. Lawmakers push for federal prison oversight after reports of inadequate medical care. Lawmakers are urging the Federal Bureau of Prisons to address prisoner health care after an NPR investigation detailed the stories of prisoners nationwide going without needed medical care. Broadway audiences are getting a little bit younger and more diverse, but the Broadway League said in its first full demographics report since before the pandemic, that New York City's celebrated tourism draw has still not fully rebounded to pre-COVID levels. Wow. Why Egypt doesn't want Palestinians in Gaza to cross the border. Hemmed in by Israel forces and the Mediterranean Sea, Palestinians in Gaza seemingly have only one place left to go, across the border to Egypt. But Egypt is resistant to letting them in. Pakistan troops search for militants suspected in deadly attack on police station. The death toll from Tuesday's attack in northwest Pakistan was likely to rise as some of the officers were in critical condition, authorities said. Heart of Hawaii's historic Lahaina reopens to residents and business owners. The historic town on the Hawaiian island of Maui that burned in a deadly wildfire that killed at least 100 people reopened Monday to residents and business owners holding day passes. I ain't found it yet. No line this mother won't cross to save her addicted daughter. Renee was so desperate to keep her child alive when so many others have died from overdose that she resorted to extreme measures and extreme risks. She now supervises drug use in her own home. A jury decided Google's Android App Store benefits from anti-competitive barriers. The maker of Fortnite sued 3 years ago, alleging that Google abused its power to shield its Play Store from competition in order to protect a gold mine that makes billions of dollars annually. Children of jailed Iranian activist Narges Mohammadi accept her Nobel Peace Prize. Mohammadi, who is the vice president of the Defenders of Human Rights Center, remains behind bars for her longtime work advocating for women's rights and democracy in Iran. Here's the latest fallout at Harvard, MIT, and Penn after the anti-Semitism hearing. Calls for Harvard and MIT presidents to step down remain firm, while a growing number of students and faculty are coming out in support of their school leaders. Civil rights groups appeal court ruling that threatens Voting Rights Act enforcement. Civil rights groups are appealing a federal court ruling that could make it harder to enforce key voting protections for people of color under the Voting Rights Act. And finally, these pros help keep aging loved ones safe, but it's a costly service. Private care management, often nurses or social workers, is a growing field that helps people navigate the elder care system. People call it a game changer, but it comes at a high price. And that's a look at the headlines for today, for December 12th, 2023. All right, let's go to NBA, because we've got the scores for you from last night's games, which I didn't even announce. Sorry about that. I got so caught up because there were so many games yesterday that it didn't happen. All right, so let's go and look back and see what we have here. 76ers beat the Wizards 146-101. It was the Magic over the Cavaliers by 10, 104-94. Pacers trounced the Pistons again, 131-123. Heat over the Hornets by 2, 116-114. Nuggets beat the Hawks 129-122. Knicks take care of the Raptors 136-130. It was the Thunder over the Jazz 134-120. Rockets 93, Spurs 82, low scoring game. Pelicans 121, Timberwolves 107. Mavericks over the Grizzlies 120-113. It was the Bucks over the Bulls 133-129. And the Kings take care of the Nets. You see, if you're on the road, Nets, why are you going to do this? You're great at home. Go on the road and show who you are. You lose by 13, 131-118. And the Clippers take care of the Trailblazers, 132-127. Tonight's games have the Lakers and the Mavericks at 7:30. Cavaliers will go to Boston to play the Celtics at 7:30. Tip-off between the Nuggets and the Bulls is at 8 o'clock. Warriors will go to the Suns at 10 o'clock tonight. And the Kings and the Clippers at 10:30 tonight. All right, let's go now to the NHL and get you on the way here. One button and we're there. All right, we had, let's see. We had 4 games yesterday. It was the Islanders in OT over the Maple Leafs. The Islanders get the win 4-3. Sabres 5, Coyotes 2. It was the Dallas Stars 6, Red Wings 3, and the Avalanche over the Flames 6-5. Here are tonight's games. Coyotes and the Penguins will face off at 7 o'clock. Hurricanes and Senators at 7. Maple Leafs will go to the Garden to face the Rangers at 7. Red Wings in St. Louis to take on the Blues at 7:30. The Flyers will go to Nashville to see the Predators at 8 o'clock. The Panthers will go to Seattle to see the Kraken at 10. Blackhawks will go to Edmonton at 10 o'clock tonight, face the Oilers. Flames at the Golden Knights at 10 o'clock. Lightning at the Canucks at 10. And the Jets will play the Sharks tonight at 10:30. All right, now we go to NFL, and boy, oh boy, we've got another great week finished. And man, did it really come down to it. Huh. Oh, yeah. Let's take a look at week number 14. We've got 4 weeks left in the NFL. The Patriots take care of the Steelers 21-18. It was the Jets over the Texans in a tramping 30-6. Wow. Ravens take care of the Rams in overtime 37-31. It was the Saints defeating the Panthers to send the Panthers to a 1-12 season. Saints win 28-6. It was the Bengals 34, the Colts 14. The Buccaneers actually win a game and beat the Falcons in Atlanta 29-25. The Browns upset the Jags in Cleveland 31-27. It was the Bears upsetting the Lions 28-13. The 49ers take care of the Seahawks 28-16. The Vikings, in a stunning last-minute play, get the field goal and take care of the Vegas Raiders 3-0. How about that? In a game that went 0-0 for almost the entire game, the Vikings get that field goal in the last couple of minutes of the fourth quarter to win the game. It was the Broncos 24, Chargers 7, Broncos on a tear. Bills upsetting the Chiefs. Wow, 20-17. And then this was the game of the century, folks. The big Sunday night game. Holy cow. The Cowboys beat the Eagles by 20, 33-13. And now it's a dead even race in the NFC East at 10-3. The Eagles and the Cowboys are tied for first place. Finally, we've got some actual competition going on. The Cowboys have won 5 in a row, actually 6 in a row in this case, to go to 10-3. They're having a fantastic season, making the Eagles really work for that division any which way they can get it. Giants, they come out with a win and beat the Packers on Monday Night Football 24-22, and in a stunning upset. Oh my goodness. Here's another game that shocked another pins. The Titans go to Miami, steal one from the Dolphins, and win 28-27 on Monday Night Football. And like it really matters because the Dolphins have that division. They control their own destiny. We'll talk all about the football scores on tomorrow night's edition of Let's Talk Football with the guys. So, yeah, you've seen it with your own eyes, folks. You really have in this case. All right, some other important information for you as we continue on here. I mentioned yesterday that I have, I'm on Weight Watchers, and I'm on week 3 right now. And for those who don't know, I did lose 13 pounds. So I'm down 13 pounds because I dropped 5.5 last week when I weighed myself on the scale this past yesterday, because I weigh myself every Monday. So this tells you how much I'm actually total right now. 319 pounds, down from 331. That should be 12 pounds, but it's 13. If you really take 332, give or take 7.5 and 5.5 is actually 13. And I don't know how in the world I get 319, but that's what it was on the scale, and I'm going to take it. And I'm doing fantastic here on week 3. As you can see, I'm losing it in my face. This is where I'm losing it right here, folks. You see all this? This is shrinking. And every week my face is going to start shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. And I'm saying to myself, when am I going to see it in my stomach? Patience. Well, everybody loses weight in different areas of their body. I lose it in my legs, my arms, and my face. So when you see me losing weight, you're going to see my face start shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. But of course, the camera always puts about 10 pounds on as well, too, for that matter. I don't know why, but it does. But I wanted to let you know that I'm doing fine here in week 3. And, I'm enjoying every bit of it. And despite going to Dunkin' Donuts and eating out, I'm still pointing everything, looking at the content, portioning out my food, not overstuffing myself, drinking plenty of water. And I also drink what they call Coke Zero. Yeah, advertisement. Coke Zero with no sugar. Cherry Coke Zero. Yes, I even drink Diet Coke too. Very limited on that. Maybe one a day. If I'm a little thirsty and want a little fizz, I'll do it. But I don't rely heavily on the sodas. Even though there are no calories and there are no points, I try to drink water mainly because your voice is very important. Got to keep it going. So that's that. All right. When we come back, because it's 4:20 here, we're going to look at our day of today and see what we got for that. And then we're going to go and start our first look at our tribute to the 100th birthday celebration to Bob Barker, the world's greatest MC. Yes, sir. It's his birthday today. We'll look at his fantastic legacy. All of this when we come back. More right after this.
At a time like this, you probably don't care that we use only carefully selected hops, or the finest grains, or pure artesian brewing water. But you'd taste the difference if we didn't. So we do. Olympia. It's the water, and a lot more.
At JCPenney, we don't just wish you a Merry Christmas. We promise you many happy returns. Because when you exchange any JCPenney gift at any one of our 1,400 stores, this is what you get in return. No hassle. JCPenney.
Fireplaces glowing, icicles growing, hearts overflowing with cheer. It's that wonderful season we all find so pleasing, the Toys R Us time of year. The world's biggest toy stores, Toys R Us. The biggest selection, Toys R Us. It's the Toys R Us time of year. Toys R Us.
It was the night before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, except this little fella. At a time like this, a gift from Kodak just begs to be opened early. The Kodak Tele-Instamatic 608 camera takes group shots like this, and with the simple flick of a switch, beautiful close-ups. And you needn't move an inch. The Tele-Instamatic 608 camera, one of the great open early gifts from Kodak. Christmas, '76. Picture it.
Take a look at Zodi's, your Christmas savings department store.
Zodi's has Kraco Dashmaster AM/FM multiplex stereo radios for your car at savings to $30. One for cassette, one for 8-track tapes. Just push in your cassette and listen to your favorite music. Or insert the 8-track tape in Kraco's in-dash or under-dash model and enjoy the beautiful sounds of stereo. Your choice, only $78.88 each. Proof that holiday happiness costs less at Zodi's.
Take a look at
There's a place in town that has 12 terrific glasses for the 12 days of Christmas. And every time you buy a medium-sized Pepsi for only 59 cents, you get to keep the glass it comes in. And here's the nicest part of the whole offer. There are only 2 glasses every week, so you have to keep coming back to get the whole set. And you know why that's so nice? Because the place you have to keep coming back to is Taco Bell.
All right, let's go and look at our national holiday of today. Why not? It's a good one. It's for all those people who like to decorate gingerbread houses. You know, the kits and everything. Yes. Well, every year on December 12th, the day sets the mood for the upcoming holiday season. And this day is celebrated by children and adults alike. Baking of gingerbread is one of the oldest holiday traditions, and Gingerbread Decorating Day unleashes the hidden artist in us. Gingerbread is a broad range of baked goods flavored with ginger, cloves, nutmeg, and cinnamon. It is sweetened with sugar, honey, or molasses. Now, gingerbread ranges from a soft, moist loaf cake to a crisp or dense ginger biscuit, depending on your favorite. If you're a novice baker or simply too busy, you don't actually have to bake gingerbread cookies or a gingerbread house. But pick up your favorite gingerbread items from the baker, make some quick icing, and get started on a gingerbread decoration project with all the candies you can lay your hands on. Gingerbread can be decorated with many things. You can use chocolate chips or creative icings like lemon or buttercream icing to decorate your gingerbread. And the only limit is your imagination. Gingerbread decorating is best done in groups, as fun shared is fun doubled. Many childhood memories are centered around gingerbread flavors and colors as families make this a holiday tradition. The origins of gingerbread decorating day are unknown. Thankfully, the history of gingerbread is well documented. Gingerbread was brought to Europe by the Armenian monk, Gregory of Nicopolis in the 10th century. He brought the necessary spices from the Middle East and then demonstrated gingerbread making using spices and molasses to French Christians. By the 13th century, gingerbread had become popular, and nuns in Sweden would make it as an antidote to indigestion. It was in Sweden that painting and decorating gingerbread became popular. These decorated gingerbreads were in fact used as window decorations. The 13th century also saw gingerbread make its way to the city of Turan in Poland, where the honey made is the nearby villages that made the cookies especially delicious. To this day, Pierniki Torinsinki, as they are known in Poland, is iconic in Poland's national cuisine. From the 17th century onwards, gingerbread was sold in monasteries and pharmacies in England, where it was popularly believed to have medicinal properties. It was also in this century that you could only make gingerbread if you were a professional gingerbread baker, unless it was Easter or Christmas, when everyone was allowed to make gingerbread at home. In the play Love's Labor Lost, Shakespeare wrote, "And I had but one penny in the world, thou shouldst have it to buy gingerbread." Such was its popularity. In 1875, the Gingerbread Man was introduced to holiday traditions through a fairy tale published in St. Nicholas's magazine, where he was depicted as a holiday treat that was eaten by a hungry fox. Here's the timeline. It starts in 146 BC, the early variations for rituals. An early form of gingerbread can be traced back to the ancient Greeks and Egyptians, who used it for ceremonial purposes. Go to 992 AD, and Gregory of Nicopolis makes the first gingerbread in its modern method and style. And gingerbread production is controlled in the 15th century as a guild in Germany begins to control gingerbread production, limiting the baking to artisans. And finally, in the 18th century, gingerbread is now available for mass consumption. Gingerbread was mass-produced as the steam-powered scroll saw and lathe are widely available in the mid-1800s. So, how do we celebrate this day? Well, we're going to decorate some gingerbread cookies. Needless to say, the best way to celebrate Gingerbread Decorating Day is to make your very own gingerbread cookies and decorate them. This can be a fun thing to do with the family. If you're feeling particularly ambitious, you could bake or buy a gingerbread house on this day. And gingerbread is assembled and can be decorated with gumdrops, candy canes, and peppermints, or whatever your heart desires. Then you're going to host a house competition, a gingerbread house. Set up a station with gingerbread house pieces, colorful candy, frosting, and much more. And bring people together and get them to participate in a friendly gingerbread house decorating competition. This could even be done at a group home or senior center to get members of the community in on the action. Here are 5 facts about gingerbread that will blow your mind, as if it wasn't already blown. England's Queen Elizabeth I invented gingerbread men to represent her suitors and gave their likenesses to them to eat. The largest gingerbread house was assembled in December of 2013, was 60 feet long, 42 feet wide, and over 10 feet tall. And almost 450 million gingerbread cookies are made annually during the holiday season. That's a lot. It was believed that eating gingerbread men would ensure that young women would find husbands. Maybe there's an aphrodisiac in the cookie we don't know about. Well, and according to the Swedish tradition, you can put gingerbread in your palm, break it, and if there are 3 pieces, your wish will come true. Ooh, yep. And here's why we love this day. Gingerbread decorating day is a great way to bring the family, friends, and community groups together to do something that everyone will enjoy. And this is the perfect day to get creative. Gingerbread decorating day lets you unveil the baker and painter in you. If you and groups decorate together, the ideas and laughter flow, and you can show the rest how to really, decorate. And besides being completely yummy, gingerbread spices in combination actually have health benefits that makes it good for you while you are eating. I still say once you add the frosting and all of the other stuff, the icing and all the other candies, gingerbread becomes less and less more of a dense treat than some kind of nutritional snack. And there you have it, folks. National Gingerbread Day. And a whole bunch of other great stuff as well, too. There was another one, too, called National Ambrosia Day, and it looks more like a potato salad. Funny thing. It's a Greek mythological food called ambrosia, known as food of the gods. Interesting. The Greeks believed that anyone who consumed ambrosia would become immortal. Go on and figure that one. It's a creamy fruit salad. Look it up there. Looks more like something I seen. If you like creamy fruit salads, then you'll like National Ambrosia Day. But there you have it, folks. I covered the gingerbread one, which was a lot more common and popular than National Ambrosia Day. But if you like National Ambrosia Day too, go ahead and make some. Why not? 4:33 right now, and when we come back, we're going to look at our first article, our tribute and big celebration to Bob Barker, the world's greatest MC. We'll be right back after this.
Wednesday. Is Frosty really getting married?
I will not allow it.
A classic holiday special for the whole family. Frosty's Winter Wonderland. Then, a new wee Christmas special.
Pecans.
When Dinty Doyle stumbles upon the end of the rainbow.
A golden Christmas dream come true.
The Leprechaun's Christmas Gold.
Wednesday, starting at 8, 7 Central Mountain on ABC.
Holidays were made for Michelob.
There's a beer that's becoming a holiday custom. Michelob. Special enough to make the right impression, friendly enough to show you mean it. And now with special holiday packaging to go with your best wishes and with all your holiday plans.
Holidays were made for Michelob.
Holidays were made for Michelob. Tis the season to be sharing. Let's go Kroger-ing. Friends and family giving caring. Let's go Kroger-ing. Give the best of everything.
Feel the spirit this holiday season as the folks at Kroger wish you the very best of everything.
Let's go Kroger-ing.
Save on King or Royal Crown whole boneless ham. Just $1.29 a pound.
Money back on Sanders.
Money back on saws. Money back on 3/8-inch drills from Santa Claus. Money back from Black & Decker. Merry Christmas to all.
To wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Black & Decker is giving a sack full of $5 rebates and specials on many selected products.
Money back from Black & Decker. Merry Christmas to all.
First and 35.
Remember Aunt Hilda? She helped make your first party dress. American Greetings wonders who you forgot to remember this year. What better time to say hello than Christmas? With friendly faces like Ziggy, Strawberry Shortcake, Holly Hoppy. They're on American Greetings cards, gift wrap, party goods.
Second 35 on the 50.
American Greetings, the right card for that special person.
We hope the special lift you get this holiday season lasts all year long. Happy holidays from Eden Park.
For Nestor, there's nothing funny about his big ears, but he cheers up when he's visited by a Christmas angel.
Your ears can do a wondrous thing no other ears can do.
Nestor is chosen to guide two special passengers on a journey to Bethlehem. And on the way, he discovers his own courage and a new use for his long ears.
Sunday at 2 on Channel 47.
Well, this man you are familiar with if you ever seen him before, and you recognize the face very clearly. If you've never seen Bob Barker in his younger days, this is a picture of him in 1975, right at the peak of when he just started hosting The Price is Right, almost 3 years when they were going to probably 1 hour. Well, today, Bob Barker turns 100 years old, and happy birthday to you, Bob. In heaven, we know you're looking down on us. Right now, we're going to look at your fantastic life, starting when you were born in Darrington, Washington, and spent most of his youth on the Rosebud Indian Reservation in Mission, South Dakota. The U.S. Indian Census rolls, 1885 to 1940, list Bob Barker as a citizen of the Rosebud Sioux tribe, which the tribe publicly confirmed. His mother, Matilda Tilly Valendra, yes, that's Need Matilda Kent Tarleton, was a school teacher. His father, Byron John Barker, was the foreman on the electrical high line through the state of Washington. As Barker's father was 1/4 Sioux and his mother non-native, Barker was 1/8 Sioux. Barker attended the grade school on the Rosebud Reservation, where his mother was a teacher. He once said, "I've always bragged about being part Indian because there are a people to be proud of, and the Sioux were the greatest warriors of them all." Barker met his future wife, Dorothy Jo Gideon, at an Ella Fitzgerald concert while he was attending high school in Missouri, and they began dating when he was 15. He attended Drury College, now Drury University, in Springfield, Missouri, on a basketball athletic scholarship. He was a member of the Epsilon Beta chapter of Sigma Nu fraternity at Drury. He joined the United States Navy Reserve in 1943 during World War II to train as a fighter pilot, but did not serve in combat. On January 12, 1945, while on leave from the military, he married Dorothy Jo. After the war, he returned to Drury to finish his education, graduating summa cum laude with a degree in economics. While attending college in Drury, Barker worked his first media job at KTTS-FM radio in Springfield. He and his wife left Springfield and moved to Lake Worth Beach, Florida, and he was news editor and announcer at nearby WWPG 1340 AM in Palm Beach, now WPBR in Lantana. In 1950, he moved to California to advance his broadcasting career. He was given his own radio show, The Bob Barker Show, which ran for the next 6 years from Burbank. He was hosting an audience participation radio show on KNX-AM in Los Angeles when game show producer Ralph Edwards, who was looking for a new host to replace Jack Bailey on the daytime television version of his long-running show, Truth or Consequences. It happened to be listening to and liked Bob's voice and style. Barker started hosting Truth or Consequences on December 31st, 1956, and continued with the program until 1975. Then in early 72, Mark Goodson and Bill Todman began shopping a modernized revival of The Price is Right to stations with Dennis James as host. CBS expressed interest in the series on one condition. Instead of James, Barker would be installed as host. After some initial resistance, Barker instead offered to host another upcoming CBS game show, Jack Barry's The Joker's Wild, which had difficulty finding a host and was scheduled to debut the same day as Price to allow James to host Price, but CBS rejected this proposal. On September 4th, 1972, Barker began hosting the CBS revival of The Price is Right. On October 15th of 1987, Barker did what other MCs almost never did then. He stopped using hair dye and let his hair go gray, its natural color by that time. Barker announced on October 31st, 2006, that he would retire from The Price is Right in June of 2007. He taped his final episode on June 6th, 2007, with the show airing twice on June 15th. On October 15, 2007, Drew Carey took over hosting duties on the show. After his retirement, Barker made 3 return appearances to The Price is Right. He first appeared on the episode that aired on April 16, 2009, to promote his new autobiography, Priceless Memories. He appeared in the showcase round at the end of the show. Barker made another guest appearance on the show to celebrate his 90th birthday, which aired on December 12th of 2013. He announced a contestant for the first time ever on the show, along with one showcase. Barker's last appearance was a surprise appearance on April 1st, 2015, for an April Fool's Day switch, where he took Carey's place at the show's intro. He hosted the first bid and pricing game of that day before handing the hosting duties back to Carey, and later appeared during the showcase. Barker was married to Dorothy Jo Gideon from 1945 until her death from lung cancer at age 57 in 1981. From 83 until his death, he was in a long-term relationship with Nancy Burnett, an admitted radical animal rights activist nearly 20 years younger than Barker. By mutual decision, Barker and Burnett were never married and lived in separate residences throughout their relationship. He had no children with either women, stating that he had seen his friends who had poor relationships with their children and felt that he was too busy to properly raise a child as of 2007. He stated that he had no regrets about his decision. From the late 2000s onward, Burnett described the relationship as a platonic friendship, even as Barker had become more interested in remarrying. She recalled a 2011 incident where Barker drafted a prenuptial agreement for her lawyer to review and revise as she felt fit, which she refused. Burnett managed Barker's health and diet in retirement. Barker was a vegetarian. In 1982, Barker began ending The Price is Right episodes with the phrase, "This is Bob Barker reminding you to help control the pet population. Have your pet spayed or neutered." And though Barker had already been dabbling in animal rights before meeting Burnett, his efforts became more aggressive during his relationship with her. In 1987, Barker requested the removal of fur prizes for the Miss USA pageant and stepped down as host when the producers refused. In 1989, Barker and United Activists for Animal Rights publicly accused several media projects and the American Humane Association of animal mistreatment and condoning animal mistreatment, a tactic which resulted in a $10 million suit against him and the UAAR for libel, slander, and invasion of privacy. The suit was finally settled by the insurer in 1994. Barker founded DJ&T Foundation in 1994, named after his late wife and mother, which has contributed millions of dollars to animal neutering programs and funded animal rescue and park facilities all over the United States. In 2004, Barker donated $1 million, that's the equivalent to 1.5 in 2022, to Columbia Law School to support the study of animal rights. In 2009, he wrote a letter about 3 businesses in Cherokee, North Carolina, asking them to close their bear exhibits. He threatened to not attend the 2009 Game Show Awards, where he was to receive a Lifetime Achievement Award because Betty White would be attending. Although he had previously worked with White, he was feuding with her over the treatment of an elephant at the Los Angeles Zoo. White instead did not attend and pre-recorded her comments that she was scheduled to make about another awardee, Mark Goodson. Also that year, Barker donated $1 million, equivalent to about 1.4 in 2021, to the University of Virginia Law School to support the study of animal rights. He made similar donations to Harvard Law School, Stanford Law School, Georgetown University Law Center, Duke, Northwestern University, Pritzker School of Law, and the University of California, LA. In 2010, the Sea Shepherd Conservation Society announced that it had purchased and outfitted a ship to interdict Japanese whaling operations in the Southern Ocean using $5 million provided by Barker. The ship was then named the My Bob Barker. That's the M.Y. Bob Barker. And its existence was first revealed when it helped discover the location of the Japanese whaling fleet. Barker participated in several PETA, that's P-E-T-A, public service announcements over the years, including one that claimed that vegan diets prevent Alzheimer's disease. In 2010, he donated $2.5 million toward the purchase of office space for the organization in Los Angeles. The Bob Barker building opened up in 2012. In 1994, former model Diane Parkinson filed a lawsuit against Barker alleging sexual harassment following a 3-year affair while working on The Price is Right. Parkinson, who alleged that she was extorted by threats of firing, later dropped her lawsuit claiming the stress from the ordeal was damaging her health. Then in 1995, model Holly Hallstrom left The Price is Right and later filed suit against Barker, alleging that the reason she was fired was not so much because of her 14-pound mediated weight gain, as documented, but because to Barker's displeasure, she refused to give false information to the media regarding Parkinson's suit, as she alleges Barker had requested she do. Barker countersued for slander, but Hallstrom prevailed, receiving a settlement in 2005. In October of 2007, Deborah Curling, a CBS employee assigned to The Price is Right, filed a lawsuit against CBS, Bob Barker, and The Price is Right producers, claiming that she was forced to quit her job after testifying against Barker in a wrongful termination lawsuit brought by a previous show producer. Curling claimed that she was demoted to an intolerable work environment backstage, which caused her to leave the job. She, who is black, Curling that is, also alleged that the show's producers, including Barker, created a hostile work environment in which black employees and contestants were discriminated against. A few months later, Barker was removed from the lawsuit, and in September of 2009, the lawsuit was dismissed. Curling's attorney stated that he planned to appeal the dismissal of the lawsuit. In January 2012, the California Court of Appeals affirmed the dismissal. September 16, 1999, Barker was in Washington, D.C. to testify before Congress regarding proposed legislation that would ban captive elephants from traveling shows, such as circuses. And while preparing for the presentation, he experienced what he called clumsiness in his right hand. He was admitted to George Washington University Hospital and diagnosed with a partially blocked left carotid artery. Barker underwent carotid endarterectomy to remove the blockage. Fancy term, I guess. The procedure went well, though he was able to return to work within the month. 3 years later, he had 2 additional health crises after taping the 30th season finale of The Price is Right. While laying in the sun on May 30th of 2002, he experienced a stroke and was hospitalized. 6 weeks later, on July 11th, he underwent prostate surgery. Both hospitalizations occurred at George Washington University Hospital in Washington, D.C. They were successful on the surgeries. He had several mild bouts with skin cancer, a result of his frequent tanning. He consulted a dermatologist regularly to make sure any cancers were caught and removed before they spread. They did not pose a threat to his life. During a televised interview, Barker told viewers, "I urge anyone who has spent some time in the sun, whether you're doing it or not, go to a dermatologist once a year." Then in 2015, on October 20th, 2 police officers passing Barker's Los Angeles area home saw him trip and fall on a sidewalk. They called an ambulance, which took him to Cedars Sinai Medical Center, where he received stitches for an injured forehead and was released. He also hurt his left knee. Barker slipped and hit his head at home on June 19th of 2017. His maid drove him to the emergency room, where he was checked and released. His representative said it was not as serious as his earlier fall. In October and November of 2018, Barker was rushed to the hospital for severe back pain. He suffered another fall in January of 2019. However, he was not hospitalized. His last public interview with People in August of 2021, in which he discussed The Price is Right's upcoming 50th season on air. As of 2022, Burnett stated that other than some non-prescription supplements such as collagen and a meal replacement drink to replenish nutrients not found naturally in his vegetarian diet, he took only 1 prescription medication for hypothyroidism. He died at his home in Los Angeles on August 26th of 2023 at the age of 99, following several years with Alzheimer's disease, a condition that Burnett and Barker's publicity team had kept hidden from the public. Hypertension, hypolipidemia, and hypothyroidism were listed as secondary causes of death. He was interred alongside his wife at Forest Lawn Memorial Park, Hollywood Hills. And there you have it, friends. His wonderful life. Of course, all of his TV appearances. I think people can pretty much say, because if you watch the archives of American television, that'll give you pretty much all the information that Bob Barker had, as he sat down with the archive people and talked for the 7 parts, each about 30 minutes long, about his life and his career over that time span up to that point. And that interview was conducted in 1999, so it was right before the 30th anniversary of The Price is Right. So, with all of that and all that he has done over the course of his time, we thank you, Bob Barker, for a fantastic run over the course of your 99 years. We'll never forget you, and we wish you, of course, a very happy 100th birthday in heaven. Thanks for the entertainment, and we'll always watch your repeats, and of course, never get tired of The Price is Right. I myself would rather watch more of the Barker episodes than the Drew Carey episodes. Not that I have nothing against Drew Carey. It's just that at that point in time, you can't replace Bob Barker. No one ever will be able to, and there will never be another Bob Barker on this earth for years to come. A tribute to a man who gave us so much pleasure over the course of his 50 years of television. Thank you, Bob. We'll be right back. Next up, your spam blocker won't protect you from this new email scam. Something to look out for. We'll tell you about it when we come back with more DMS 3000 News Live right after this.
All across the country, people celebrate Christmas in their own special ways. But there's one thing just about everyone's Christmases have in common. America's favorite store, Kmart.
Estee Lauder celebrates the holidays with a great offer for you. The Total Makeup Organizer. 16 shades for eyes, lips, cheeks, nails, all in a tray with compartments you can use over and over again. This $90 value is just $17.50 with any Estee Lauder fragrance purchase. Merry Christmas from Estee Lauder. Estee Lauder's special holiday offer is yours at Lord & Taylor.
Ring in the holidays. Ring out the year. Sparkling with Andre. Love and good cheer. Take Andre home for the holidays. Andre for the holidays.
What's a celebration without Andre Champagne to lend sparkle and elegance? And Andre Cold Duck to keep things bubbling along. Greet the season and your friends with the best. Andre.
For the holidays and all year long.
What's America's fun-time finger food? Geno's Pizza Rolls.
What's America's mealtime finger food? Geno's.
a pizza roll.
Pizza Rolls party snacks get their great taste from your favorite pizza ingredients, rolled in a crispy crust. Just heat and eat.
What's America's Christmas time finger food? Gino's Pizza Rolls.
Now enter Gino's Roll into Riches sweepstakes and win big cash prizes. Details on selected packages.
To Sally and Janet and Donna and Trisha, I'm gonna get you a Kodak disc. Win your heart, get a kiss, catch the fun. Just like this, I'm gonna get you a Kodak disc.
Merry Christmas, Mom.
Here's Paddington Bear. He loves Christmas, and he loves Pizza Hut pizza. So this year he's sending you a special offer from Pizza Hut. 4 specially designed Paddington Bear Christmas ornaments. They're glass, just like the ones that cost you up to $5. But at participating Pizza Hut restaurants, they're only 99 cents each with the purchase of any medium or large pizza. This Christmas, take Paddington Bear home with you, thanks to Pizza Hut.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and there in the house, the kitten discovered the new Commodore's mouse. Now touch the mouse to do what you choose. The mouse makes the Commodore simpler to use. Educate. Entertain. Put thoughts together. The world's best-selling family computer just got better. So bring home the new Commodore 64 now. A Commodore Christmas to all. And to all,
You may not have to wait for the holidays to get a cuddly Santa Bear, because now you can win one instantly from Cinnamon Toast Crunch, the cereal that tastes like homemade cinnamon toast. Yep, one of 100 life-size Santa Bears, or one of 10,000 regular-sized Santa Bears, with Santa Bear stickers and special holiday boxes of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Or to enter free, write Box 5841, Wyoming, Minnesota. Then look on the back to see if you won like me. Like me? Hey, fellas, I won a Santa Bear!
Your spam blocker won't protect you from this new email scam. So here's what to know, as Jamie Stathis wrote this article about 2 days ago for the Reader's Digest. Quishing scams, instead of phishing scams, they're clever, but they're easy to avoid if you know what to do. So just as we become savvy to the latest online scams, con artists come up with another clever way to evade our email providers' spam blockers. Phishing is one of the most common types of cyber fraud, where the ultimate goal is to steal your personal information or install spyware or ransomware on your device, and scammers are always looking for new ways to trick you. Cybersecurity is the ultimate game of cat and mouse, which means it's at least partially reactive, says Monica Eaton, who's owner and founder of Chargeback 911. Fraud threats are constantly evolving, and unfortunately, cyber criminals never stop seeking new and novel ways to defraud victims. But what's new in the world of email scams? It's called quishing, the latest iteration of phishing, and there are a few things you should know to stay safe. A new form of phishing called quishing is designed to bypass spam filters. To accomplish this, cyber criminals do not include words in the body of the email. Instead, they use a QR code. And according to Paul Bischoff, a privacy advocate at Comparatech, quishing is a standard phishing scam in which recipients are tricked into navigating to a fake login page controlled by the attacker. Instead of a link or attachment, however, it urges recipients to scan a QR code. If you receive a quishing email, you'll open it and see what looks like a legitimate QR code, and there may also be words instructing you to scan the code. There isn't data on how many people have fallen for this email scam just yet, but security researchers at Inky, which specializes in phishing solutions, have identified 500 emails targeting various organizations in the United States and Australia. So this is what they look like. Yeah, half the time. You know what gets me is they always are using Microsoft as the guinea pig because everybody falls for it for some reason. But we all realize now why there's no more support for Microsoft things, because of the fact that everybody's using a fake one like this to pretty much get people to sign up for protection and cybersecurity that practically doesn't really work unless you know how to really get around it. So the best way to understand how and why this scam is so successful is to take a step backward and consider the thought process that originally created your email's anti-spam protection. Spam filters are designed to read words, but scammers have gotten clever and embedded words into an image that contains both text and a fake QR code. And since they are simply image files, QR codes do not trigger spam blockers, says Chris Hawk, who is a consumer privacy champion at Pixel Privacy. Standard text analysis doesn't work on images, and filters won't detect the words embedded within the image. Spam filters normally analyze text to determine whether a message is spam or not, such as scanning for common key phrases used by scammers. Now, Bischoff explains, which is why this new email scam sneaks through even the sturdiest spam filters. So who is at risk? Well, so far, phishing scams have focused on companies. These emails ask employees to click the link to update their information. But Hawk cautions that anyone with an email address can be targeted. And while phishing schemes targeting companies make the headlines, plenty of phishing schemes target regular users too, and that includes the fake QR code scam. So you may be tricked into paying money to the scammers, Hawk says. Adding that to the QR code could install malware onto your device or computer. Bischoff warns that victims may also be tricked into handing over account usernames and passwords, which is why strong passwords and two-factor authentication are so crucial to helping you stay safe online. Bischoff adds that bad actors sometimes pose as authority figures and try to get you to fork over money to pay a bogus bill or other fabricated fees. The goal is to make you act out of fear. So don't click on the QR codes in unsolicited emails. While they are convenient to use, QR codes can contain all sorts of malicious surprises, Hawk says, and the risk isn't worth it. But what if you're worried that the sender is legitimate and follow-up is required to avoid consequences? In that case, you should carefully look at the sender's email address and assure there isn't an extra dot, dash, or underscore, which may signify an imposter account. Eaton says that people reason with themselves, thinking if the email wasn't official, their email filter would have flagged it. But she points out that users can be lulled into a false sense of safety. There is a psychological aspect to this scam as well. QR codes look official, she adds, and most people don't know how or IT skills to make QR codes on their own, so it's more plausible for them to assume that this fancy-looking code must have come from a reliable official source. And if you fall for this QR code email scam, take the same steps as you would for any scam. Contact the authorities, keep an eye on your banking and credit card statements, monitor your credit, and perhaps even put a freeze on new accounts. Eaton points out that the cyber criminals are some of the most creative, out-of-the-box thinkers, and sometimes it's almost admirable how much ingenuity can go into their schemes. But when you stop and consider the harm they're doing to innocent, unsuspecting people, you feel less admiration and more concern. One bad actor with an ounce of creativity can trigger widespread havoc on an international basis, Eaton says. Here are some other tips to avoid email scams on. Never scan unsolicited QR codes. Never provide your personal information in response to an unsolicited request. Never click a link or open an attachment in an unsolicited email or message. And if you're at work, take your IT department's cybersecurity training seriously. IT departments should allocate resources to prevent future actions, not just based on employees' past actions. Yes, it's always good to know what's happened in the past, and someone's previous behavior is often indicative of future actions. But if you're only focusing on what's already been done, you're going to have a gaping blind spot in your cybersecurity. When the criminal tries a new tactic or a new scam, you won't be ready. You won't even see it coming until it's too late. And thanks to our fantastic author, Jamie Stathis. She writes about health, wellness, technology, nutrition, careers, and everything related to being a human being on a constantly evolving planet. And in addition to Reader's Digest and The Healthy, her work has been published in Self, Wired, Parade, Bon Appetit, The Independent, Women's Health, HuffPost, and more. HuffPost, actually. She is also a licensed massage therapist. So if you need a good massage therapist, maybe she's the one who will work you, you know? She's working on a novel about a heroine who saves herself in a memoir about caring for her grandmother through the dark ages of dementia. Thank you, Jamie, for that fantastic article. I hope that will help everybody be a lot safer, especially during the Christmas holidays where people are so vulnerable to viruses. This show even had to get a new computer for it, and that's how we've had this one for so long. A virus basically can hit any computer at any given time. Take the steps to be proactive. When we come back, we'll look at our final article of the night, which is monotasking and why it's better for you than multitasking. We'll give you all that information when we come back, right after this.
Holidays, I want to be with my family, so I'm all for anything that helps cut down on the time I spend hunting for gifts for friends and out-of-town relatives. That's why I bought these Safeway gift certificates. You can get them from $5 to $25, and the people you give them to can buy what they want.
And you don't even have to wrap them. We just mail them with our holiday cards.
Safeway gift certificates, so I'll have a little more time with them. Everything you want from a store and a little bit more.
This holiday season, serve a delicious ham from Winn-Dixie. Hickory Sweet Boneless Whole Buffet hams are $1.89 a pound. Save 90 cents a pound. What better time to indulge in luscious desserts than at Christmas time? Save 60 cents while Country Fresh Prestige All-Natural Ice Cream is $1.79. And for holiday baking, count on Gold Medal Flour. A 5-pound bag is 79 cents. Save 24 cents more. Winn-Dixie. For a very special holiday.
We're right for you.
Wednesday, celebrate a real people Christmas. Then, a surprise visit puts the pinch on plans for a hot date. And the Master Itzhak Perlman teaches Patty how to play the violin on Love Sydney. Then, Quincy counsels a dying woman. What can I do for her? And learns a lesson in living. Wednesday on NBC.
He might not know what to do with all the crazy gifts he'll get this Christmas. But he'll sure know what to do with Old Spice cologne, or an Old Spice nautical decanter, or one of our many Old Spice gift sets. Old Spice. He'll use it, enjoy it, and love you for it.
It's here, the new Sears Wish Book, and oh, what a wish book. Over 600 pages. Some with gifts your family's never gotten before. Gifts they'll really be glad to open. Gifts that are fun and lovable. And unexpected.
Oh, what a wish book.
There are gifts that Sears will monogram. How about something colorful? Or warm and cozy? Or tasteful? Now's the time to look in the wish book for ideas.
I love you.
There's more for your life at Sears.
It's the magic time of year when love's a warming flame. Though we celebrate in many ways, the feeling's still the same. We're America's storyteller, celebrating life with you, picturing the stories of everything you do.
For over 100 years, people have trusted their memories to Kodak Film, America's storyteller.
It's the sounds of Christmas 78, Sam. Your Christmas toy headquarters.
When it comes to holiday gifts,
Herta's Discount Warehouse has an endless supply at the best prices. We've slashed prices on everything, including our 12 special gifts of Christmas, like this RCA programmable stereo VHS recorder for just $309, or this RCA camcorder with accessories for as little as $41.63 a month. It happens at Herta's with guaranteed best prices on stock merchandise. Highland between Sahara and Spring Mountain, open Sundays until Christmas.
Welcome back to DMS 3000 News Live. Episode 85 is here. We're getting close to the end of our great programming tonight and getting close to our Christmas program as well. What is monotasking, and is it better for you than multitasking? Well, Jason Wilson has the answer to this question. This was on November 14th of 2023. Monotasking makes you more productive and is healthier for your brain. But what is it? And as I write this, I'm also checking email from colleagues, receiving text messages from my kids, getting notifications from my boss, searching Google, and future article topics, posting a funny meme in a group chat, and making coffee. It's a classic multitasking situation. It's also completely unproductive. I can't focus. Enter monotasking. But what is it exactly? Well, read on to find out more about the new way to work on improving your concentration and your time management skills. Monotasking is pretty straightforward, focusing on one task at a time, but that's harder than it sounds. The monotasking approach to time management encourages short, concrete tasks that are the sole focus of your attention for a block of time. Researchers say the goal of monotasking is to achieve deep work. This deep work is the ability to focus on a demanding task, one that requires more concentration, and to do that without distractions for an extended period of time. Monotasking, in the end, is really about rethinking the way we work and changing our existing habits and mindsets. Recent studies show that multitasking actually makes you a little dumber. According to a study by the Institute of Psychiatry at the University of London, emailing or looking at social media while talking on the phone actually lowers a person's IQ more significantly than losing a night's sleep, smoking cannabis, or watching hours of mindless television. Chronic multitasking can actually decrease the gray matter density in parts of your brain. Multitasking also takes a huge toll on productivity. This is because when we multitask, we are constantly task switching, causing a switchcast, which is the time it takes to adjust to a new task. According to the American Psychological Association, task switching over time can decrease productivity by as much as 40%. And although switch costs may be relatively small, sometimes just a few tenths of a second per switch, they can add up to large amounts when people switch repeatedly back and forth between tasks, said the APA. Multitasking may seem efficient on the surface, but may actually take more time in the end and involve more errors. So, how do you start? Monotasking? Up. Multitasking? Get rid of it. First, you must practice deep work. So instead of working in short bursts of 15 to 20 minutes, set aside 2 to 4 hours each day to tackle a single project with no interruptions, says Bryant Adib, Chief Wellness of Rush University System for Health in magazine. This alone is almost guaranteed to lower your work stress. Monotasking is just as much about eliminating distractions as it is about focusing. Shut down your phones, apps, or anything else that sends notifications. Block out time slots on your calendar and set team communications to do not disturb. Listen to white noise, background noise, or instrumental music without lyrics, and use headphones if necessary. Sometimes the worst distraction is our own well-intentioned desire to be productive. Inc. magazine suggests getting to the deep work by asking 2 important questions. 1, what could I do today that will bring me a sense of meaning and purpose? And 2, what are the 2 most important things I can do today that would have the greatest impact? Build your workday around the answers to those questions. And whether it's early in the morning, right after lunch, or late at night, everyone has times of the day when they're more productive. And once you identify your peak performance time, guard it. Schedule your deep work during these peak times. And try to remember what Adib told Inc. magazine. At the end of our lives, no one will remember how quickly we respond to emails, and no one on their deathbed asks for more time to sit through another budget meeting. Instead, we look for more time to do and experience the things that give us meaning and a sense of purpose. This, or that is, at the core of monotasking. It is about rethinking the way we would work so that we can It is about rethinking the way we work so that we can more meaningfully engage with our work environment. I want to make sure I read that correctly. There you have it. Jason Wilson. He's a senior writer at Reader's Digest, and he has covered travel, culture, food, and drinks, and for more than 2 decades. And he's the author of 3 books on wine and spirits, including Godforsaken Grapes and Booze Hound. He's written for the Washington Post, the New York Times, the New Yorker, Travel and Leisure, and many other publications. He's had a pizza, a breakfast sandwich, and a dessert named after him in 3 different countries. Wow. And they always say that multitasking, for some reason, is supposed to be more beneficial than monotasking. Draw your own conclusions on that one. All right, it's 5:17. When we come back, we will look at our motivation of the day and conclude this fantastic program, episode 85, when we come back right after this.
Holidays, I want to be with my family, so I'm all for anything that helps cut down on the time I spend hunting for gifts for friends and out-of-town relatives. That's why I bought these Safeway gift certificates. You can get them from $5 to $25, and the people you give them to can buy what they want.
And you don't even have to wrap them. We just mail them with our holiday cards.
Safeway gift certificates, so I'll have a little more time with them.
Everything you want from a store and a little bit more.
This holiday season, serve a delicious ham from Winn-Dixie. Hickory Sweet boneless whole buffet hams are $1.89 a pound. Save 90 cents a pound. What better time to indulge in luscious desserts than at Christmas time? Save 60 cents while Country Fresh Prestige all-natural ice cream is $1.79. And for holiday baking, count on Gold Medal flour. A 5-pound bag is 79 cents. Save 24 cents more.
Winn-Dixie.
For a very special holiday.
We're right for you.
Wednesday, celebrate a real people Christmas. Then,
Grandma!
a surprise visit puts the pinch on plans for a hot date. And the master Itzhak Perlman teaches Patty how to play the violin on Love Sydney. Then, Quincy counsels a dying woman.
What can I do for her?
And learns a lesson in living. Wednesday on NBC.
He might not know what to do with all the crazy gifts he'll get this Christmas, but he'll sure know what to do with Old Spice cologne, or an Old Spice nautical decanter, or one of our many Old Spice gift sets. Old Spice. He'll use it, enjoy it, and love you for it.
It's here, the new Sears Wish Book. And oh, what a wish book. Over 600 pages. Some with gifts your family's never gotten before. Gifts they'll really be glad to open. Gifts that are fun and lovable. And unexpected.
Oh, what a wish book.
There are gifts that Sears will monogram. How about something colorful? Or warm and cozy? Or tasteful? Now's the time to look in the wish book for ideas.
I love you.
There's more for your life at Sears.
It's the magic time of year when love's a warming flame. Though we celebrate in many ways, the feeling's still the same. We're America's storyteller, celebrating life with you, picturing the stories of everything you do.
For over 100 years, people have trusted their memories to Kodak Film, America's storyteller.
It's the sounds of Christmas 78, Sam. Skaggs, your Christmas toy headquarters.
When it comes to holiday gifts, Herta's Discount Warehouse has an endless supply at the best prices. We've slashed prices on everything, including our 12 special gifts of Christmas, like this RCA programmable stereo VHS recorder for just $309, or this RCA camcorder with accessories for as little as $41.63 a month. It happens at Herta's with guaranteed best prices on stock merchandise. Highland between Sahara and Spring Mountain, open Sundays until Christmas.
And we're going to have that fantastic commercial. We'll be looking at the great history behind it sometime next week on our Christmas weeks coming up. That fantastic Hershey Kisses commercial that goes all the way back to 1989. This will be almost close to the 35th anniversary of that particular commercial. And we'll be looking at how it came about sometime next week as we get closer to Christmas. Now, of course, Ralph Marston has our daily motivator for today. It's Tuesday, December 12th, 2023, and it's titled Start Now and Continue. You can't do it all at once, but you can do it. You're not going to master a new language, run a marathon, or build a thriving business the day after you decide to do so. Yet you're able to accomplish all those things and more with small steps. You can put time on your side. You can use the hours, weeks, and years to make steady progress. That progress usually doesn't occur in a straight line or as quickly as you'd like, but it will come over time, and over time is better than never. The way to fill your life with achievement is to fill your moments with the efforts that build achievement. Several of those moments are immediately ahead of you right now. At this point, it makes no difference whether you're starting early or starting late. What's important is to start now and continue. Yes. Thank you, Ralph Marston, for a fantastic motivator of the day. And folks, like every day, we're here 5 days a week. We'll see you tomorrow for more great headlines and articles that have to deal with you. And of course, we'll all have it somehow tie into the holidays as well. I'm Jason DeCanio for a great night. Remember, be honest, be real, and keep it simple, stupid. Kiss. Have a great evening. We will see you tomorrow night, or tomorrow afternoon, as they say. Bye for now.
Don't forget to subscribe to the David Dyson Network for great more content like this one.